All right, so the following is an interview between me and Nathaniel, who's one of my best friends, who's also one of the guys that's featured in that video that pretty much the entire internet has seen now of us kind of crawling around on the beach like idiots in Hawaii. So I hope you guys enjoy this conversation. He asks some really good questions and has some really cool perspective on the internet and social media and all kind of things. And yeah, I think you guys are going to enjoy this one a bunch. So have fun and let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Okay.
You done playing Candy Crush?
No, never.
Oh, God. How did you even get on it?
I think I saw a woman playing in the airport.
Yes. Are you serious? That's what I said, dude. It's the game that like 60-year-olds play on the phone.
I was just like, I haven't played this since I was in middle school.
Yeah.
And then the thought of it was really nice. So
and
I downloaded it yesterday.
So much dopamine, just
so much. I mean, it's insane. When you get the chocolate and multicolored 5-piece chicken nuggets, it's like the greatest thing of all time.
I've never gotten the 5-piece.
Wait, so yesterday was your last day?
Yesterday was my last day.
So you're working soul care. Cheers. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Making zero money now.
What?
Gabby is the sole breadwinner.
Gabby is the sole breadwinner.
So, what are you gonna do?
That's a joke, but
yeah, true. Wait.
What am I gonna do
She's
as far
still
as work?
at Resi.
Yes.
Y'all worked at the same company, and you left your wife.
I left my wife
at work
from a career standpoint. Okay. Yes.
Because she was there.
Partially.
You left because Gabby was
probably
there.
90%.
Okay.
No, I left because it just wasn't working for me.
Okay.
And also we were starting to have to go into the office, and I like being able to work from my house, and I also just have a lot going on these days. So Soul Care is number one. I'm going to be doing content, podcast stuff, trying to grow them through social media. And then Wild Sons, number two, which is Pablo's thing. He does retreats for men in the mountains. Classic. I'm going to be doing podcasting and content for them as well. And he's also, what?
Oh, no, you go first.
Well, he's also starting like a marriage counseling thing with him and his wife. They're going to do like marriage coaching essentially. So they're also starting their own podcast, just the two of them. So I have like a lot of podcast producing and editing I'm going to be doing.
Okay. Wait, so does he like, is he like reading from a book or something? Probably like, or is he just making content up for his retreats?
Oh, for the retreats? He's pulling from like a lot of different places. Okay. Like if you read Wild at Heart or Becoming Kings, like you would recognize a lot.
A lot of that.
He pulls a lot from like Dallas Willard, and there were like a few other teachers that he like kind of hit on pretty hard. Yeah. I think he quoted like Henry Newman at one point. So yeah, it's like a mix. I would say like the more original stuff that he's sharing is like his actual, like a lot of it's just like story, and he's just like sharing like what he's experienced in his life, and his story's kind of gnarly. Yeah, it was gnarly like probably 15 years ago or 20 years ago. He had an infidelity with his wife and or with someone else, and almost got divorced and just hit a really gnarly low point, and was living on like a inflatable air mattress in his friend's house for like a long time. And yeah, just hit a really bad spot.
Wait, why did that happen?
I think he just became really he's a very charismatic dude, and he is really successful at most things that he puts his mind to. And so he was in sales, I think, and just started kind of going hard, traveling a lot, and just kind of, I think it went to his head, and also just wasn't with his wife that much. Yeah. And so the classic issues. But yeah, it was like obviously devastating for him, and him and his wife Juanita have just been on like a really cool road of recovery and of restoration, and are at a point where they're like passionate enough about it that they want to share it with other people. So
that's true.
It's really cool. So that's the other thing. And then there's another thing called Indie DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization. Oh, God. It's a crypto thing. Oh, no. It's as you feared. I know, it's so funny. Anytime I tell people that it's like has anything to do with like blockchain, cryptocurrency, anytime you say stuff like that, people are like, oh God. But
Nick Nikema loves DAOs.
Dude, I know. So does Jordan Frey.
They're big. They love the Dow Jones.
Yeah, but theirs is cool. It's not really like it's not like a make money off of crypto thing. It's more like they started a marketing agency / like creative, like web design, UI UX stuff, just pure design stuff. Like they started a creative agency that does creative work by starting a DAO. So instead of just like filing as like a normal business with the government, there's actually like a new tax, what would the word be, like tax classification you can have as a DAO and basically like form a business through forming a DAO, which is basically just a cool way to use blockchain tech to assign like governance and also like equity in the company as it grows. Say what?
No, okay, I said okay.
So they have their own token called Indie coins or Indie token.
Oh, come on.
And there's certain ways that you, as you like are involved with what they're doing and do more work for Indie, you acquire that. And then after every quarter, they cut out whatever the profits are of like the organization as a whole. They divide that among token holders according to the proportion of tokens you have compared to everybody else.
So is it a dividend fund?
It's kind of, yeah, it's basically like owning a part of the company as the company grows. So it's like getting paid dividends as you're growing.
Nice.
So it's sweet, yeah. And like, yeah, say there's only 2 people working for the company and you hold 50% of the token, so you get 50% of the profit. Like you could not do a ton like the next season they call it, but it's really just like financial quarters. You could not do a ton and like still hold a lot and then still get payout for maybe the next quarter you own 30% or 20% because other people kind of did a lot more, but you still hold that and you will get paid out according to it. So there's a lot of cool like ways that incentivizes involvement. There's some cool ways it incentivizes like sales and kind of like finding clients to for them to do work for. They have described to me like a DAO, essentially a way oversimplification of it is it's a group chat with a bank account. And so like they exist in Discord and they're also building an app to do like projects that's kind of like their project management app called Indie Protocol. But we use Discord kind of like other tech businesses would use Slack, which is funny because Discord is like mostly known for like gamers and streamers. So it's a cool application and it's a new kind of company, but they're like some of the smartest people I know. Katie used to work for NASA and Nico is just like a savage engineer genius dude. So
sick. Wait, how do you know them?
I used to work at Glue with them.
Okay, they're Glue boys.
Yeah, and so randomly, like kind of as I was, this is cool for all 3 of those businesses, but like as I was kind of looking for options to leave Resi, because it was just not working for me anymore.
Well, you applied to Glue.
I did. I actually applied to 2 jobs and did get them with Glue, which is funny. And honestly, that was like the story with everything is like I was applying to a ton of like kind of like fully remote jobs basically, and then competing against like 3,000 other people. And it's just really freaking hard to get a fully remote job right now because everybody wants one.
That many applicants?
Dude, I don't even know. I feel horrible for whoever's job that is. But yeah, I think there's a lot where like you use, in some ways there's some AI things that are looking for like certain key phrases. And if they don't, like if resumes don't have them, those are just getting cut from the stack immediately. Like there's a lot that AI is starting to do to like remove work from that. But yeah, so like with both Resi, or with both Glue jobs, I was super close to getting both of those and then didn't get them. And I interviewed for a few more companies and applied to like hundreds probably and didn't get anything.
Whoa.
Which was a grind.
Just like clicked apply.
Or
like actually doing.
I would do a lot like
CVs and.
Yeah, like a lot of times I would write cover letters, and I did a lot of work to try to get jobs, and it's just not happening, which was frustrating for a while. And then the cool thing is like right around that, especially with like Resi, they just issued like a return to office mandate, so you like have to be in the office for certain hours. Whereas it used to be like flexible and I would only go in like once a week, this was like you have to be in from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. 3 days a week.
Whoa.
And just changed the vibe a lot. It's a lot more commuting, and again, the offices are not amazing in Denver, and so it's just like not the type of place I want to hang out for that much of my life.
That's a lot.
So anyway, it just with cool timing with all of that was Katie reached out and was like, hey, you have been doing awesome with content and we want to hire you to do content for Indie. And then Pablo called me basically a week after that and was like, hey, you've been doing awesome with content. We want to hire you to do content for Wild Sons. And I had already been doing a little bit of work with my mom for soul care,
yeah.
and I had kind of been on a hiatus for that while they were focusing on some other things. But a few weeks after that, I was with her in New York for my grandmother's funeral, and she was like, "Hey, by the way, we're ready to like get going again with content stuff. So whenever you're ready." And I'm like, "Dang, okay, these stars are aligning a little bit.
Shit.
Seems like
So just
this is
freelance
enough."
stuff.
Yeah, it just feels like this is
Do you
enough.
have your own business?
That's what I'm actually forming an LLC like sometime before October is over.
It's so easy.
Yeah. I've been like
$50 to Jenna Griswold,
yeah,
Secretary
sweet
of State.
Jenna.
She's wonderful.
Yeah. So I need to figure that out, and I also want to figure out like opening a bank account, getting some not business cards to like give out, but like business credit cards to like keep track of things.
Dude, Southwest cards. Let me know. I'll get you a referral.
Ooh, can I refer myself though?
No.
Shoot, because I already have a Southwest card.
I think for business you need a business referral, which
you could do.
Business referral.
This guy's got business referrals.
Yeah, I could actually do that for you.
Okay, sick.
No, but because if you have, we don't need to talk about that. Anyways, well, that's cool. What's your business gonna be?
I think I'm just gonna keep running with iLights Creative.
Sick.
And just make that an LLC.
How's that website going?
Dude, I keep it updated. There's a lot of work that I want to do to like more accurately speak to like what I'm doing currently.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been great. I've had that website for like 10 years now, which is nuts.
It's pretty nuts.
But dude, I want to talk about you, bro.
No. Shifting the conversation back.
I want to shift the conversation to you led a charge 4 years ago of stupidity on a beach to just have a good time on an iconic day when you came out and visited me and lived with me in Hawaii. And 4 years later, I randomly dug up that clip because I remembered it and thought it was hilarious. Watched it and thought it would be funny with David Attenborough narrating it.
Love it.
And now 25 million people have watched you dragging your face in the sand on the internet. And that's just on my account. It's probably closer to like 100 million because of all the reposting that's been happening.
It's hilarious. It's just funny that like people are coming out of the woodworks on my phone and texting me from like the glimpse of the side of my face being like, "Is this you?" I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, like the absolute randomest corners of my life, and I'm sure yours. Like random people texting me, but like, "My friend sent me this. Is this you?"
That's crazy.
So
What I'm best known for.
I know this is literally your life's legacy.
I probably will not be known for anything by a greater volume of people than this in my entire life.
I was doing some processing about that over the weekend, and I came to the conclusion like there's a lot of things you can be known by the world at large for, and I honestly feel pretty damn proud that what we are known over the world for is smashing our faces into the sand and rolling around.
Yeah, it definitely takes the pressure off.
Well, I was telling Pablo, it's like it's funny, but also like I think what a lot of people have like commented about and seen in it is like your friends are awesome. Like those people look like they would be a good time to hang out with, and this just looks like fun. And I feel like if I could just be known in my whole life, just that I had like the world's best friends and that like I just had a heck ton of fun with them, I feel like that's a worthy legacy for me.
For sure.
You know?
No, for sure. It's pretty indicative of like what that time was like. But yeah, I think it's also like it's funny because it's like we kind of say it jokingly, but like it's a very long shot that like there would be anything else that like we are featured in that more eyes would get. So it's like
100%.
A very real possibility that like from a volume standpoint that like that is what like we would be most widely known for the entirety of our life.
Like, has the weight of that hit you yet?
Well, no, because it's like, I mean, you know, if we're lucky, we'll do another 60 years.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like, you know, you're kind of peaking right now from a volume standpoint.
Yeah.
And which doesn't matter, but
in no way.
But it is also funny because it's like, yeah, it is just so ridiculous and goofy that it I feel like it does take the pressure off to like do anything because it's like I won't have like more eyes on anything else I do.
No.
And so it's funny that is like dragging your face through the sand.
I know.
But
it's worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hilarious.
and honestly, the timing of it is like super funny too, because it's like somehow all of this lined up with like, I don't know if I've told you this yet, but the day that I put my 2 weeks in at work, I literally walk into that meeting, haven't checked my phone in a while. I tell them I'm leaving Resi. I walk out, I check my phone, it has gone viral, has 1 million views, and I'm like, this is the peak. Like, I can never imagine this getting more. I literally just assume 1 million is the cap.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
then overnight it gets to 10 million,
Yeah.
and then in 2 more days it's at 20 million.
Well, it is kind of nuts. Like, you were even talking about, like, at Dunk Team, our little small group that we do every week for 8 years, is like feeling a lot of like renewed creative energy and like really wanting to put your effort towards I think just like creating more like videos or like content, or like whether that's like written or like video or photo, and not like content as like a content creator. But I think it's funny you saying that and be like, this is the direction I want to go, and like just making more stuff. And then like you did the video of Ryan.
Yeah, that's true. Which to me, I was like, this is
was like
the
your
peak of
first
viralness.
shot. Yeah. And you like made that video of Ryan's commentary on the hike, which was diabolical. and then like your second video is that, which is just, it's funny to think of. I was like, this is like what's happening? Like, how's this happening so fast?
Yeah.
Which is good, and hopefully it's like a reason to be motivated to like keep doing some more stuff like that, because obviously you're making stuff that's hilarious, and the video is like on its own kind of funny, but like even just like your editing and your cut of it is like what I think really made it hilarious. And then figuring out like, okay, how do you kind of capitalize on this?
Yeah.
Doing something.
Yeah, for sure. And like that's the question I've been asking myself, is like, I never expected to have 13 or 14,000 followers on Instagram. And honestly, in some ways I got like really anxious about that over the weekend, because all of a sudden I'm like, oh gosh, like everyone's watching, like, is this my one chance? Like, do I need to make something of this? And I like freaked out for a little bit. And then of course, like Sweet Pablo, like of course, because I'm at this retreat over the weekend, Sweet Pablo is like, he just looks at me and he's like, dude, you're amazing, and there's no pressure to literally ever do anything again on that account. Yeah. And somehow that just like sank so deeply into me of like, okay.
It was nice.
It was really sweet to hear that. And yeah, like it's a very strange thing to go from like having an account where like I had 1,700 followers, and of those I probably knew 700 of them. And then the rest were like connections to those 700 that I knew. It was all like, it all made sense. And now if you look at my followers, it's just the randomness of the internet from every country and time zone in the world. Yeah. And it's just like, okay, that's like a different thing when I post on it to like be viewed by that kind of audience. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. And I think like, I don't know, it's funny because like even the conversation of like a viral moment, but then like this juxtaposition of like, that's not necessarily like what needs to be like pursued. Right. Is interesting to me. Like, I mean, you know, we kind of joke about like, I didn't even know anything about it because I don't have an Instagram. Yeah. And I will like never get an Instagram. Yeah. Thank God. Yeah. And I think it's like, I'm curious to hear your thoughts, like, because I think it would be easy to be like, oh, like, I posted this video of me and my friends doing something goofy and stupid, and it like translated into something that can like obtain me more of an audience, and like maybe even obtain me like money. Right. And like the monetization of your relationships, like your friendships, is like a really interesting conversation. Yeah. And I'm curious to know like what your thoughts are on just like that, of like, it would be easy to be like, okay, we did this thing, we had this funny moment, how do I replicate that? Like, how do I get like another video or another moment or another cut that looks similar? Right. Like through the same devices or through other friendships or relationships. And like, not that that's a bad thing, but like, I'm curious to know like what your approach to that is, and like what your thoughts are on those. Yeah. Dude, it's super complicated. Like immediately the line that comes to mind with what you're talking about is a line from the 1975. Do you listen to them at all? No.
there's just a real quick line on one of their songs where he's just talking about like what it's like to be a teenager right now. And the line is just like, mining all the bits of me I think I can sell. And just like the pressure of doing that on social media and just like for people with the internet. And yeah, like for sure. Because, you know, before there was like an audience and like potential for any like money to ever come from it, it was just a free like, this is fun, this is sweet. Yeah. And now that it's like, oh, I could get like brand sponsorships and I could like get paid to go do stuff and I could get paid, like I could go get connected with XYZ person. It's different. It's in a lot of ways, there's like a parallel with like doing something like you're an artist and you become a painter or a musician because it's something you love. And then all of a sudden you realize you can get paid for it and then it becomes a business. And like, there's kind of a death in that a little bit. Where like, even for me, it's like, that's what the last few years have been is like, I got pretty good at editing videos and then I got hired to do that for a company and it just killed my soul in a lot of ways. Yeah. And sometimes like getting paid to do something that you love to do can ruin it for you. So yeah, I don't know. I think like...
So do you create like a boundary there for your own Instagram account to like not, like, do you say, hey, like for the foreseeable future, or even like set a limit on like, okay, for the next, like, if anything came my way in the next 12 months, I'm going to say no to it.
Came my way in what way?
Like, in like a monetization.
Yeah. I don't know.
Do you like build a boundary like that?
I don't know. It's tough because like I think especially if it's like the collective can profit. Like I don't ever want anyone to feel like I'm mining your friendship or I'm mining like Ryan, how funny Ryan is to like make money.
You should definitely mine me.
No, but I think that's like one of the yucky things about like influencer places is people just start feeling like they're just a tool to get something from people. Yeah. You know, and so I've talked to a few people.
We're the boys.
Well, I've talked to a few people about this, and I think like if you can make it something that like brings everyone up, I think like there's wins there. It's like I don't want anyone to feel like I'm just trying to profit off of them, but if there's a way that like collectively people can benefit from like me having a following and being able to get paid to do stuff, I'm interested in that for sure. You know?
Yeah.
But, you know, I think at the same time, there's so many pitfalls that you can look at the influencer space and just be like, this is dangerous. And relationships are hard in this. And I don't think that's just like a social media thing. I think that comes anytime there's like a level of like being visible in the public eye is people just start to approach you with like requests and with like how you can help them out and you start to see people through how they can help you out. So I don't know, my MO, I talked to Davey about this, one of our other friends, over the weekend, and I think what we both came to was like, I think I just don't change anything. Like, I think I just keep going with what I've been doing and just sharing the things that I love and care about. Yeah. And I don't, like, I think the like your 12-month thing till you get paid, I think there's a lot of wisdom in that of like, just not too hastily trying to be like, how do I get paid? How do I figure this out? How do I make this? Yeah. Like, I think just like continuing to build something that I think is awesome and love is delightful.
Totally.
And the also like a component of people like engaging with it is it's cool to talk to people you would never otherwise talk about or talk to. Like I posted a video today, just sort of be like, hey, there's 13,000 new people here. Here's kind of who I am and what I care about. And there was just so many like really sweet comments and people being like hey, I'm from Sweden and I do video editing too. And cool. I'm like really inspired by this. And I'm like, cool. And like, it's just cool. Like I'm someone who's really
engaging.
Yeah. Like I'm very extroverted and I just get really energized by like getting to meet people from different parts of the world and engage with them. So
that's kind of sick.
A mixed bag for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, does that answer your question?
No, it does. I think, you know, and I think there's just the congruence of like us, like all of our friend group just kind of continuing to be goofy and stupid and also like deep and very intentional.
Yeah. I think as soon as you start editing yourself to like try to grow something, I think that's going to be less successful at growing. Like I think like the things that people really want to tune into on the internet are like people that are real. Like those are the stories that captivate people. Those are the movies people want to watch. And like if I think to like accounts that I follow that I like value and like enjoy the most, it's not like this cool viral funny thing. It's like it's just people who share their lives and are just like genuine, authentic people that think brilliant thoughts and love people well. Like I think of Scott the Painter and people like him, where it's like he's not trying to like put on a show. He's just trying to like share the pieces of his life that he feels like would benefit the public. So anyway, I think I don't want to edit myself or like try to start making something like force something to happen. But I have thought like it's cool to be handed a microphone and consider like what would I want to say? Like what's a message that like if I get to share with a bunch of randos on the internet, like what would I want to share?
Yeah.
I think that's like a cool question to ask.
Yeah, having an audience is like a really weird thing though.
Yeah.
Like that's, I mean, when I think about it, it's like, you know, this is like the first time in like, I mean, the vast majority of human history where like tens of thousands of people can listen to tons of people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, imagine if 25 million people had showed up on the beach to like watch that video.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Or imagine like
crowded beach.
Even just like, you know, that's a hard number to even wrap our heads around because it's like, when have you ever witnessed 25? Yeah, you can't.
I don't know if there's a city on the earth that has a population that's bigger than that.
There are a lot of cities that do. Mexico City has 30 million. Sorry, I won't.
I just don't know.
Stop. But not in America, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Not in America. It's like LA, I think it's probably 14 million now, and New York is.
But like that helps me to put it into perspective.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But even like if you just were to take like your current, like the amount of followers that you have due to that video, even now, like 14,000 people standing around observing like as an audience, or like even witnessing like that post that you said like here's who I am, like that's just a really odd thing. Like there's so many people and impressions to be made, and like that's it's interesting of like people watching a moment between other people who actually know each other, but like being witnessed by people who don't, like where there is no relational equity.
Totally.
I don't know. It's interesting.
It's very strange.
But yeah, that's where we're at.
That's the world, dude.
Yeah, it really is.
I want to go back to just the contents of that video.
Yeah. And
when you look at it and who's in it, and your memories from that time. So Yura is in it, Yura Grayling and Jesse Pittman.
Was Dan there?
He was, but he wasn't participating.
Was he swimming in it, or was he just
I think
watching?
He was just gawking from the sidelines.
He's just like you are.
But I honestly don't remember. But it's funny because I went back.
Was Ryan gone already? Or was
Ryan Grizzak was not there.
Sad. And a bunch of
but I did see like a picture of a lot of like I went through some pictures from that day, and there's a picture of us sitting on the beach, and so like I think like Annika Grayling, your sister was there. Dan was there. I think Ino was there.
I think the girls were there.
I think Linnea.
I think Iz was there too.
Iz was there.
She might have been filming.
Do you remember Linnea Olsen, the Swedish girl, dark hair?
No. I'm sorry.
Anyway, she filmed it. She filmed it. I'm fairly sure.
Did you give her cred?
No, not yet. It honestly took a while to like figure that out though, and I should go back. Sure. Linnea, you're gonna get some credit in there. I need to go back and edit that. Because I wasn't sure, and I saw your comment of like, was I filming that? And I wasn't sure. But then I went back and viewed some of the other footage, and I heard your voice like laughing behind the phone. So
I'm sorry that I don't remember you.
It's okay. You're great. She's great.
But anyway, so but to the boys.
In terms of that season, like what sticks out to you about that time of your life? You were in Hawaii for 3 months, and like those people that you were with, like what are some memories that you have about that season that sort of could like culminate in that video? Like how when you see a video, but take all of the engagement off of it.
That's sick.
If I were to have just sent you that video, like what would that bring up in you?
That's a good question. So going to that season life, I was living in Birmingham, Alabama, with my brother Jon. Who now goes by Daniel, and then he left and went to Mexico, and so I had no reason to be in Birmingham anymore. So I left Birmingham and was going around a little bit. That was kind of the season where Nate played Red Rocks, and then went to Alaska with him, and then was in Europe for a little bit, and then came back, and you had extended the invite as you were living in Hawaii to come and stay. So just came and like planning on 3 months there, working with you guys when you're working for a nonprofit there, and kind of was just helping with remodeling and stuff. But it was very much like our rhythms there were sick. Well, like a couple things. Like, I mean, it was sick because for the only reason that I had to go there was you, which is sick because we're just boys. Mm-hmm. And you invited me, which is sick. No one invites anyone else to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I had like never been to Hawaii, and we both love surfing. And so it was like this sick invitation. And I mean, I needed to, I had a lot to learn once I got there about just even like localism and surfing, and that's great.
It's a steep learning curve.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, why is everyone so mad at all the white people? But yeah, no, it was good education. But yeah, you'd invited me, and it was kind of a no-brainer of like, why wouldn't I come? I've got nothing else better to do. And our rhythm there, and it's funny because the video I think like encapsulates that season very well, which is like our daily rhythm looked a lot like wake up at 5 a.m. We would usually like read and pray and drink coffee and eat a little bit of breakfast, and it would still be dark. And typically it would be like me, you, and Yura, which I haven't seen Yura since then.
Yeah, 4 years.
And he's going to be in California.
Yeah, you might get to see him. I think he's there till the 8th.
I really hope he stays.
Yeah, I mean, he might extend his trip again. I know he already extended it once.
We get there, what, the 11th or the 8th?
I think you get there the 8th.
Oh, God, I hope I see him.
I know, you should try to.
I'd be so wrecked if I didn't see him. If I missed him by day. But it would be usually, you know, me, you, Ryan Grislak, and Yura. Mm-hmm. And some of the girls typically, too, would come. But it would be like 6 a.m., load up the surfboards in the dark, drive to the North Shore, surf for a couple of hours. You guys would would have to be back to work. I wouldn't have to be back to work, but we'd drive back with you anyways.
Yeah.
Surf for a few hours, which is just sick surfing.
The greatest.
And work for like 4 to 6 hours, eat, go back surfing, eat some more.
Yep.
Go back surfing again for the sunset. Come back, eat some more, go to bed, and then like repeat. I think like
I just look at pictures of your physique during that.
I've never been more fit in my life.
Dude, you grew like 3 inches like both directions.
No, I mean, I got so roasted by my mom.
No,
like,
you didn't.
No, indirectly, like
while you were there.
No. When I got back for Christmas, we like I think we were like at a pool or like we were at the beach maybe that year, and she was just like, you look strong. And I was just, but it was like this tone where she was kind of like, you've never looked strong. Like,
oh,
really
get
funny.
wrecked.
That was sick. Tony roasted me. But yeah, I mean, we surfed like twice a day, I think on average.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. Like met some incredible like friends there. I mean, people who moved back to Colorado just to like be roommates.
Yeah.
Shout out Candace and Iz.
Candace and Iz.
What up?
Illy.
But no, I think we've talked about it before as like one of the most boyish times of our lives, where it's just like there's so little to worry about.
Yeah.
Like friendship and fun activity seems to be like paramount.
Yeah.
Which is so like unrealistic, sadly enough. Like that's just like life is not composed of carelessness and friendship, even though it would be really nice if it was. But you know, like even we're here in Denver, and like we think about work and money and how to like pay for the right things and make the most of our time and like spend our investments with like relationship time and people and money like wisely. And there's a lot of logistics, and that was just a time that had like zero logistics, zero cares, a ton of laughter, and like a ton of great relationship. And also was, I think, like the epitome between like your and I's friendship, but also like the friendships that we share in our like friend group, which is yeah, like of course I'll come to Hawaii to hang with you.
Yeah.
Which is sick. But that video, I think, ties into the time because it's like that video represents what we were doing every day, which is just stupidity.
Right.
And
It's like if half the crap we had been doing was filmed.
Oh no, I mean, we were just being goons all the time.
Yeah. Question. I want to interject there. So just to tell the story a little bit of that day, it was like, if you saw part 2 of that video that I posted, we were at a beach in Hawaii and the waves were like huge, like crazy beach break that day.
Dan was going to die.
We thought Dan was going to die.
He's so much better at swimming than
well, I think he had his flippers and everything, and he was like, I have a clip of him going, like, duck diving under like a 15-foot beach break wave.
It was insane.
It was insane.
I was like very worried.
Yeah. It was absolute savagery. And so like we were playing in the beach break for a while, which is probably sketch. One of us, I think, was trying to like actually catch one of those waves on a surfboard, which was hilarious. I'm trying to remember that guy's name. I think he's one of the guys in the video.
Is it one of the kids who's still there?
I don't think so. No, he had short hair. I don't remember. Anyway, so it was just a savage day. We were just playing for like 3 hours in the just nonstop that afternoon.
So fun.
And so we're like, and at one point
sand.
we all kind of just started ragdolling, I think. Like I remember us just kind of like in the beach break, like we kind of just like would go like dead body and then just let the waves like kind of like roll us all the way up the beach. And we just thought that was hilarious.
They were so funny.
And so we were all just laughing at that. And then the reason that video is so funny to me is because I remember how it all went down is like we were all kind of doing our own thing like down the beach a little bit. And without like any prompting or any like initiating or you even saying anything, you just stuck your face in the stand and then just started like inchworming without like any like, hey guys, check this out. You just like started doing it. And some of us just like turned and looked at you. We were like, no freaking way. Like peeing our pants laughing. Like we cannot believe this dude is just eating sand right now. And so all of us were like we didn't even know you could do that with our bodies. And so we all just started doing that.
It's like, to the water.
Yeah, like we all just like, insane. I think just in the goodness of our hearts, we were just like, let's just inchworm around this beach. And then I think
just a bunch of idiots.
I was like,
it would be so funny if we all did this at the same time.
Yeah, and so we all just started doing it. And then I'm like, okay, well, it's a shame if we don't film this.
Yeah.
So then I had someone film it, and then the rest is history. But I just think it's hilarious that like the start of that was not you being like, okay, guys, I think we should all do that. You just like literally started doing that just for your own satiation of like, I want to be a dumb idiot on the beach.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sick.
And I'm like very uncreative, and so I mean.
So where did you learn it?
Well, it was we're classic Jamie O'Brien fanboys.
Yes.
So
Well, the funny thing is, I've seen him do that in one of his vlogs, but I've never gotten to ask you if that's actually where you learned it from.
Probably so. That's the only other place I've ever seen it happen, which I don't know if he came up with it or if he saw someone else do it.
Jamie, let us know, bro. Where did you
Dude,
did you learn that?
Yeah, Jamie was out here in Colorado surfing the Salida River wave and didn't say what up.
Wait, like this year?
Yeah, he was
no way.
In July.
What gives, bro?
He came ripped and didn't say what up. Not that he would ever know.
No, for sure.
I don't have social media.
But so you just watched one of his vlogs?
Yeah, because he posts a ton of stuff on YouTube and had done that a couple of times, and I always thought it was so funny because he does it really well.
He's so good
at it. His form, like Jamie's inchworm
flawless.
Form is like, I mean, he's the GOAT.
It's peak, yeah.
He's the inchworm GOAT.
I know. He has a lot of legacies to leave in the surfing world, but like a super underrated one is the inchworm.
Yeah, I mean, he's no Nancy Reagan, but he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
That's right.
But so I saw him do it, and I think that was the day where like the sand was just a bit more forgiving in a way.
It was fluffy.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask, they're like, dude, did you not like lose your entire face doing that? And I
think we kind of did.
But I think it was something about the sand.
There was just so much water in the sand, but I kind of was like, this is the time to try it. Like, I've seen Jamie do this before. This is the time to try it. And then it was perfect.
So
yeah, did not come up with that. And not the creator.
No, can't copyright it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really hope, which maybe I don't know if you can like search who comments, but I'm curious
if he commented.
Yeah,
dude. Okay, a couple
like,
people commented. I commented under it once I remembered that he was the one that did it first, and I said, "At Jamie O'Brien, this is your legacy," and he liked it.
That's actually kind of
that
sick.
was touching. But another, I'm trying to remember who's the photographer that is like the crazy North Shore.
Who's still in North Shore or his guy? Like his
No, not his guy. It's a North Shore photographer. I want to say it's something Clark. Anyway, like the legendary Hawaii photographer commented. I forget what he commented. But it's funny because like
something along the lines of what though?
Just like I don't even remember what the comment was, but it was just like crazy to see his name. Clark Little, that's it.
Oh,
You heard of Clark Little? Yeah, I'm trying to remember what he commented. But the funny thing is, like, Clark Little, the beach that we were at is the beach that, like, he is, like, prolific for photography, like, being a photographer at.
Keikis is insane.
Yeah, like, he is the guy swimming in the 20-foot beach break to get the crazy, perfect, clear barrel shots.
He's wild.
So it was just, like, so funny to see his name on there and be like, before I ever was at this beach, like, I like dreamed of it because of you, and he's just one of the coolest photographers in the world.
Did you say what up to him?
I think I did. I think I replied in the comment. I don't know if you've seen it though.
Sad.
That's all right. That's how it is in the internet places. But
but Jamie definitely he transferred knowledge of that move to me.
Yeah.
Whether or not he came up with it, I could see him coming up with that. I mean,
I know that's what I really want to know. Is like it just seems like such a like. You don't know you can do that movement until someone teaches you. It's like so unnatural for the human body. So it's like there's either a great story with him or he's literally just like the world's biggest goon and just like that's what his body wanted to do one day.
He's a total goon. I feel like he would get along really well with the boys in certain
I think he would. Jamie, we'll be in California in November if you want to swing by.
No, dude, he'd rip us apart surfing. We need to take him backcountry skiing.
No, dude, we know all the secret spots, man. We'll show you around, dude.
We suck.
We suck. You do not want to be seen with us in the water. No, we promise.
Never.
It's true.
But yeah, that was it. It was literally just thinking like this would be funny.
Yeah.
And did it.
Yeah.
And I guess it was.
And I guess it was funny.
There's enough notoriety apparently now to make it think that it is funny.
It's true. Well, going back to like just you talking about that season of life, I share that sentiment. It was like
sick.
Like the way I talk about it with you and other people that were part of it is like I just can't believe that existed.
No, it's unbelievable.
For the time that it did, because you're right. It was like pretty low work commitment. Pretty much most things were taken care of in life. We weren't like living it up by any means.
No, we were like exceptionally poor. I think I spent over the course of 3 months. I think I withdrew $200 from my checking account.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it was like
no, totally.
I think that was actually it that I like took from my checking because we just kind of like managed to take like we were running the food bank and would like have like leftover food from that.
Yeah,
and would just like eat muffins.
Yeah,
and just all carbs and sugar and milk and just like expired food.
Yep. Amazing.
But no, I legitimately think it was $200. So we were not living large.
No, we were not. But in the same way we were, you know.
Oh,
we
were crushing.
One of those times where it's like if you can give me a surfboard and an ocean and a roof over my head ish, I don't need much more.
No, just
at
the
least
boys.
In that season of life.
Yeah, just the boys. If you're doing it alone, it would suck.
Yeah, for sure.
I think honestly it was so sick because it was you and Ryan Grislak and then characters like Yura and
Dan
Jesse and Dan. Yeah, Dan, freaking legend.
Jesse Pittman, yeah.
Yeah, Jesse, who like taught me the C word. Jesse's
as
insane.
Only an Australian can.
Jesse's insane. I'm like, oh my God, I've never heard anyone say that out loud so nonchalantly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was just a legendary crew. And on top of that, with Iz and Candace and I know and just everyone that we're still friends with now and neighbors with, which is so fun. And I mean, you met your wife.
I did meet my wife during that season.
That's kind of sick.
I know.
Yeah, it was legendary. So the people made it.
Yep.
For sure. The environment amplified it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's another cool thing you can see in the video is like there's not a lot of people that I would feel like safe with enough to like be that ridiculous with.
Be a total goofball.
Right.
Yeah.
But like just the level of like there was like a level of trust and like love that we all just assumed about each other. We're like, 100%. I know Yura thinks I'm the absolute shit. And I think Yura is the absolute shit. And we all just had that with each other.
It was sick.
And I think it's like you can only produce like that level of like ridiculousness when there's like a mutual understanding of like everybody here belongs 1,000,000%. Mm-hmm. And just like that safety, I think, creates the humor that I think like gives us like the most level of joy in our lives.
Totally. Yeah, it's the piece of exactly what you're saying. Just a lot of space to be exactly who you want to be, and in goofiness, I would say. Just a freedom to kind of show up and joke and not be judged and be absurd and have your goofiness and like the absurdity rejoiced in. Mm-hmm. You know,
totally.
I think it's something that doesn't exist everywhere. There's a lot of spaces here in Colorado that don't, like, people are too try hard or too cool for school in some ways.
Totally.
And that was not like that with that crew.
No.
And yeah, so it was sick.
It was sweet. It was sweet.
Really sick.
Yeah.
Good time of life.
Mm-hmm. Well, dude, last weekend, I told you this already, but I want to repeat it.
Oh, dude.
I like cried my balls off.
Dude, I cried my balls off.
Who was it at, there's a guy at STN
who
that
cries their balls off?
No, STN people will think that's so funny. What's his name? Last name Andre. He DJ'd our wedding.
Oh, wait, Mitch?
No, not Mitch. No,
dude.
He stripped our wedding.
Mitch was a paid stripper, dude. Mitch, you are insane.
I know. Wait, I'll
Mitch
find this.
at STN? Like, was he working there when he...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not when you were there, right?
No. But, like, was he, like, a part of STN at your wedding?
No, he wasn't.
Okay, because if so, he would be fired.
It got wild. We don't have to talk too much about it, but we'll just say it was wild. Oh, my God,
dude. It was crazy. He was a Chippendale, dude.
I know. It was freaking savage. So... Anyway, but I cried my balls out this weekend because freaking, dude, you've just been such an insanely good friend to me for so long.
Yeah,
and yeah, I just appreciate it. Like I had this moment of like flashbacks of like all these crazy moments you've been there. Like I remembered at Revel when I was like also crying really heavily.
Oh, yeah.
And you and Mike
Cheers.
like were there in that moment and
boys.
Thinking about you coming to Hawaii again for my wedding and coming that other time and meeting you at a house party in
first day in Boulder.
Your first day in freaking Boulder.
Sure.
And this has just felt like a ridiculously sacred friendship to me.
Yeah, same.
And it's also like the weird thing now is like there's a lot of open doors because of I have 14,000 followers on Instagram. And yet like it's pretty much just you.
Dude, you keep saying that. You keep saying you have so many followers.
I know. Well, I'm just saying.
You're kind of obsessed with it now.
I don't mean to like repeat it. I'm just trying to say this is the situation that I have now. And in a lot of ways, it's just like, and this is where like God comes in, is like, it just feels like God has just given me without my earning or doing or trying to, be approved for anything. Like a lot has just been given to me in my life.
Yeah.
And I think like, even within that video, I see it like God has given me like some of my favorite people to spend time with in the entire world. And like, I'm biased, of course, but I just feel like I can't think of higher quality people that I could like have as my inner circle.
Dang. I appreciate
so that. All that being said, I love you.
Dude, love you, man.
Yeah, of course. And thanks for sending it to Hawaii with me. And
for sure.
All the different times.
We'll just keep sending it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the fun part.
So stoked to see what California looks like and continue figuring out like what being near the ocean and what our rhythms look like with that.
For sure.
It's unfortunate that we live in Colorado and love surfing so
we surf the river.
We loosely.
I surf the river.
One day I will join you. For sure.
Dude, you just gotta freaking come on south.
Yeah, I'll come. But I've heard that it's been flat lately.
It has been, but it's almost ski season. We'll surf the POW.
Yeah, I'm ready for that for sure.
No, dude, I appreciate those words, though. I love you a ton. And it's like, you're an easy person. I think, like, an easy person to go to Hawaii for and to just be like, I'll put other stuff on hold to do that. And yeah, it's funny to all the people who have touch points with you through the internet. I pity them because they don't actually get to know you.
Right, they never will.
And that kind of sucks for them. But because, you are like, it's so funny. Like, you're one of the most ridiculous persons I've ever met. Like, I don't know if we could ever be roommates because I think we would legitimately kill each other.
Yeah, burn the house down, kill each other.
It would be insane.
Yeah, it would be.
But like, it's funny because I don't need like my best friends to be my roommates. Like, that's a different quality of person. But
Totally.
like, you're for sure one of my best friends, and just like make my life so rich in the ways that matter. And I mean, I hope, it's a bummer for all like these people who are kind of having touch points with you now through social media because they don't get to experience that in a relational setting. They get to know you like in a very shallow sense and do not get to be known by you at all, which sucks for them. But I also hope that like, them kind of witnessing your life, which is like a very contagious life, like inspires them to like pursue relationships that have like the full weight of goofiness and a full weight of intentionality, which I think really describes like our larger circles as well as our friendship. Yeah. Which is like, whether it's like Monday night group, like those 8 or so guys, or your brothers or like the Mitches of the world, like there's so much depth to like a confounding extent where I don't really see that in other relationships and other groups, and like so much ridiculous goofiness that kind of paints, I think what's cool about it is like it paints a spectrum that's so wide that like anyone falls into it.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's like there's so much depth and there's so much levity. Like, and if that's the spectrum between like things that are intense and things that are like real, and things that are goofy and stupid, it's like everything falls within those boundaries because like I think we hit both ends of the spectrum. So so
you're saying directly. Like we have found relationships where like there's nothing that it can't exist.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no experience that like doesn't have space.
When the full spectrum is there, like anything can exist on it. And
that's
also
cool.
I want to acknowledge that maybe we haven't found the full spectrum and that we have greater depths to go of intimacy and goofiness and
that's sick.
Other dimensions as well. But yeah, it's just I think I hope that like, I think the internet's like mostly cursed.
I think so too. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
I like mostly hate it.
Yeah.
And besides like
fairly cursed.
Yeah. Besides like YouTube channels that have to do with like how to fix things.
The only non-cursed corner.
No,
of the
truly,
internet.
it's like. That and then like this YouTuber called My Mechanics who just restores things. Yeah, is a beautiful man from Switzerland. Sweet. Like I think the internet's mostly cursed. Besides those places, and I hope that like whatever fingerprint or like impact you have on the internet is one that inspires people to have relationships with further spectrums, like further spectrums of goofiness, further spectrums of intentionality, of grace and love, and further away from kind of like binary black and white thinking of and putting people into corners. Yeah. So.
Me too, man.
If you're not that, then it's probably cursed.
I will attempt to not be cursed on the internet.
Yeah, that's key.
That maybe I should change my like bio on Instagram to like attempting to not be cursed.
Be funny.
Be a fitting thing. Sick, dude. Well, thanks for being down to chat. This has been sick.
Always.
Let's go hang out and not be on camera.
Let's go climb.
Sick. GG.